Hi, my name is Duncan Alderdice, and the reason I'm making these videos is to document the journey I take as I become who I am. This is a new series. It's called Yes You Can. It's got... what are we going to talk about today? So, a bunch of sort of things. Okay, so number one, main thing that I'm like... Great start. No, we're restarting. No, we can't. We have to just do it raw. Okay. Why am I excited? One of the things that I have been doing is planning out a rough blueprint framework for what it is I want to do with my life, and fleshing that out. Specifically, one of those components of it is actually designing an ideal day. And the way that I've gone about it is just kind of brainstorming, and it's kind of like an ongoing sort of thing, but brainstorming what it is that I actually enjoy doing, and what would my ideal day include. And the brainstorm session is far more less of a it's just there's no such thing as a bad idea. Like, just put it onto the paper, like whatever it is. Later progressions of that will actually be detailing out like minute by minute, maybe not minute by minute, but like with timestamps of what actually occurs that for an ideal day, and then we can extrapolate that and do an ideal week, and then extrapolate that, do an ideal month, and then maybe extrapolate that and do an ideal quarter. I don't know if extrapolate's the right word there. I think it's not, but it's the word that I used nevertheless. Notwithstanding. Notwithstanding means what? In spite of? I don't think notwithstanding was a word I could use there. Doesn't matter. The thing... Okay, focus. Focus! These are my favorite pens, and there's 5 of them. There used to be 12, I think. The relevance of that was because I wanted to bring out a pen. Bed time. Okay, there we go. That's a thing that is on the piece of paper that I now can talk about. One of those things of the ideal day would include getting up early and going to bed at a predictable time. Getting up at a predictable time because you can get more day from that. Did I talk about this yesterday? It doesn't fucking matter. Okay. So the thing that I'm doing right now is, I set up a plan with ChatGPT. Last week, I spoke to ChatGPT, or was with ChatGPT over the course of the week for 22 hours. It's fucking crazy. Crazy. Lots of information was learned from it. A lot of it probably was spent talking about how to formulate sentences properly, but still, that was cool to see on my screen time. Very excellent soundboard, bounce board idea thing. The thing that I have been doing is getting up, for the next 3 days, the bedtime wake-up window is between 7:30 and 8. And then I wake up at some point between that, in that half-hour block, and the first thing I do is go for a 10-minute walk outside. And the reason for this is to get direct sunlight. 10 minutes is enough time to actually have the added benefit. The science shows that the first 3 minutes are quite useful, but the 5 to 10 minute mark are the most useful, and then after that there's diminishing returns, so you can continue going after 10 minutes, but once you've hit 10 minutes outside, that's the sweet spot. So I did that this morning, except I woke up at around 7:30. I could see the lights starting to dim on, and then I took the sleep mask off so I could get the outside light on, but the next time I opened my eyes it was 8:04, so I failed. But that's okay. We're just at the beginning, and then I did get up, and then I went for the walk, and it was great. It was negative 17 outside. It was the most coldest thing in the entire world. But I'm glad I did. Started the day off nice. I spent a lot of today, what did I do? Reading, to begin with. And then brainstorming with ChatGPT exactly what it is that I'm doing with these videos and where I'm going. But lots of fucking... GPT is a good... mirror, bounce board, witness. What is it? Because it will provide insight, but it won't think for you. But it's useful to have a thing that can hear your rough thoughts and then consolidate that, and then you read that and then think about that again and then have more thoughts, and then just the kind of feedback cycle going over and over and over and over and over and over. But so that's a thing that I'm doing, and I'm happy that I'm doing that. I think that was the point of the fucking story. Where is this? What was it connecting to? Oh, because the other thing that I'm going to start doing is, because when I was doing the start continue version of this thing, I know that the feedback I got, like, people liked when I was at the peat bog and I was walking around, and more than just the static, and there was actually movement to it. And I want to start doing that again, except if I did it right now, it's the nighttime. So it's like so dark you can't even see, even if your eyes are closed, open, whatever. You need a flashlight. You need like 15 million flashlights. So that doesn't quite work. But then the other thought that I had, and this is what I was consulting GPT with, is like whether or not I should make these videos in the morning, if that would be better. And the consensus that we came to was like there's a bit of there's more activity, like moving progress forward is the theme in the morning, and more reflection and integration if I'm doing the videos right now, and that perhaps like my speaking style, well, there's utility to the reflectiveness of what it is that I'm doing with this. But then how do we integrate the movement back into it? Because that actually is engaging. And so what I think I'm going to do, what I have decided I'm going to do is also film myself in the morning, specifically on those 10-minute walks, because then it doesn't add something to the morning routine. And I don't want to have a morning routine that's like, first you like get up, then you have a shower, then you cold plunge, and then you journal, and then you meditate, and then you do 15 push-ups, then you work out, and then you do a hot sauna, and then it's like all of these fucking things, and it's like the 4 hours of the peak testosterone level and alertness and high productivity that my neurophysiological and endocrine systems are optimizing me for are you wasted on getting ready to work. That's stupid. But how can I do have some sort of routine that like, it's like get up, do some sort of activity so you don't have to think, but it gives you time to wake up, optimizing you for work for the day, while at the same time documenting it. So instead of setting a separate time for the documentation thing, if I can find a way to integrate that into that routine, which is on that 10-minute walk. And then also stylistically, what's cool about this is that it will add a contrast to the video. So there will be a morning component and then an evening component. So it's like, start the day, what am I going to do? Like set the intention, or like, and it's kind of groggy, a bit more human. There's actually a bit of movement with it. And then day occurs, and at the end, whatever time that is, will then be the time where I then reflect on the day, integrate the lessons from the day, and maybe set intentions for the moving forward, or like there's just a different sort of thing like that. Because again, the point of this series or these videos is to document the journey I take as I become who I am. So it's like to tell the story of me. And while 100 of these videos where I'm just talking at you in this sort of situation may be entertaining and entertaining and useful, not entertaining, useful and inspirational, demonstrative, exemplary, I don't know what the word is. It can be a bit repetitive, and that we as humans enjoy that repetitive contrast, like morning darkness, like hard soft, like there's a bunch of other sort of contrast sort of things. But if there was a bit of variation to the video, predictable variation, that it would be more engaging and would help the person watching feel that they were seeing me progress a bit more. Because it's like, okay, there's something in the daytime and then sometime in the nighttime, then the next video starts in a different place than where it ended, and then it ends in a different place than where it started. And sometimes the evening will have this video, so then there'll be a bit of variation or whatever. So that's what I'm going to do on that. And I'm curious how it's going to turn out. Again, try to keep it low maintenance in terms of editing for the time being in order to get in the habit of actually doing it. And then once we have mastered the habit of actually doing it terribly, then we can start to do it less terribly. But step one, get in the habit of actually doing it. But so that's a cool thing that I have been thinking about that I think will turn out well, and I don't actually know, but it'll be different. Because like if I'm looking back at the old videos, I don't want to look at that right now. It kind of just ended like just this shot, and it's different. So that's that. As well, one of the other things that I think I need to do is, I don't know if I mentioned this last time. I don't care. Is I'm gonna move downtown. Because where I am is, I feel like I'm repeating myself. And if I'm repeating myself, then I'm repeating myself. I feel like where I am is very residential, and it's full of families and immigrants who have come from a different country for a better life. And that's fantastic. Except for a 27-year-old male finding himself in the world, I'm at a different life stage than they are. And because that's the case, this might not be the right spot for me, as well as I'm very social. Like I did, how many steps today? 19,501 so far. It's only 8 o'clock. Could easily crank out another 4 grand by midnight. But it would be good to actually be able to step outside and be in it. And like not at least like a 25-minute bus ride away from the metro, and then another 10 to 15 minutes to actually get downtown. Like then it's a fucking task. It's a hassle. Like it'd be nicer if I actually was somewhere. There's an apartment I have my eyes on that I'm doing, and I'm putting this one up to get a sublet and lease transfer. I feel like I'm repeating myself, and I don't know if I'm repeating myself or if I have been thinking these thoughts through so often that I'm conflating sitting down and recording them with times where I just was thinking through them out loud. Thinking through them aloud. I think we're good though. But so that's what's going on. And so far the like if the progress will be like 7:30 to 8 for the next 3 days, or 2 days technically. And then we'll go to 7:15, and then we'll go to 6:45, and then to 6:15. Hold on, right? Yes, that's exactly what we're going to do. So that's cool, and that's what I'm working on. Other things is I did 2 screen interviews yesterday. Yesterday, I mean last week. And those both turned into second interviews for this week. One is on Friday, it's virtual. The other one is on Thursday, in person. It's kind of funny because I have been applying for jobs, but not really applying for jobs, doing a lot more thinking about other things, and I'm having success. And it's December, and who the fuck hires in December? These 2 companies do. They're going to hire me. But I can only pick one. Yeah, but so that's the thing that I'm going to try to do and make it different than other things, because again, it's trying to be relatable, and then the person who's watching these videos can then come along the journey for me, and it will feel like there's more variation, and it won't feel nearly as repetitive as a consequence of there being some sort of contrast between the evening and the morning, which will mimic the daytime cycle, which is the way that our biology is set up to orient itself in the world, that we get tireder when it's darker and then awake when it's brighter, and so it will mimic that. And then so it will subtly instill a subconscious feeling of progress, I think. And so that's what I'm going to do. Getting back into this, I forget, I used to make these all the time. Every single fucking day. Every day. And I would do this. I gotta get back into it. I'm probably not as good as I used to be. What is happening? Yeah, that's the plan. So, Clementine Club, thanks for sticking around as always. And remember that desire is what drives you forward. The pain you're going through is necessary. That's why you need to believe in yourself, because you're more capable of doing great things than you give yourself credit. Yes, you can. Oh no, I fucked it up. Okay, we're going to try that from the top. From the top. Clementine Club, thank you for sticking around, as always. And remember that desire is what you're brought. Clementine Club, hold on, from the top. From the top. Clementine Club, thanks for sticking around, as always. And remember to believe in yourself, because you're more capable. Okay, we got this. Hold on. Clementine Club, thanks for sticking around as always. And remember, okay, Clementine Club, thanks for sticking around as always. And remember that desire is what drives you forward. The pain you're going through is necessary. That's why you need to believe in yourself, because you're more capable of doing great things than you give yourself credit. Lean in, aim up, and move forward. Yes, you can. Okay, there we go. Fucking